I gotta step out of character here. Shane Showalter, 22 years ago, is that when it was? I hadn't even thought of you till tonight. I was in Alamosa, Colorado, and this baseball player comes up to me and he says, I want to be a better ball player. How can you make me faster? So I sat down with my wife and we wrote out a program. And it was hard, and I thought, this guy isn't going to do it. And the guy did everything that was on it. He didn't sacrifice anything. But it just goes to show success from Adams State College or Alamosa in the San Luis Valley, so congratulations. You know, you look back at all the people that have been an impact on your life, and there's the generic list. There's your parents, and Coach Vigil. I mean, you know, how can you say enough about him? Julie Jenkins as another one, and that's probably the greatest story I think from Adams State College. What's funny, because they said you won the state meet, right? Nobody else even had to show up. You won the state meet because you won everything. Julie Jenkins 40 points, and all these other high schools with their scores. But Julie would show up every day, and just like Mylan said, there was never an issue of how hard is it going to be or what I have to do. She just said okay. And I remember before the '88 Olympic trials, and where's Coach Martin? Are you here? Raise your hand. There you are. Do you remember Yumi and Julie on the track? And we had to do all-out 400s. And how painful was it to not let her beat you? I mean, I remember with about 80 yards to go, I wasn't sure it was going to happen. You remember those? You remember those? Yeah. Yeah, Julie, you've given a lot to us. We owe you a lot as well. But I look over here, and just one of the stories from a long time ago, where Western State College, getting the team award tonight. Fantastic award. And I have to tell you, back when we were running, you put down the list of the people you have to run against, and at the bottom of the list was always Western State College. And it was a formality. You guys were just a stone in the way. Just get them out of the way. And what we see tonight, what Coach Vandenbush had done with you guys and made you an absolute force in the RMAC, and for that matter in the nation at any division, has been absolutely outstanding. And I remember Coach Vigil saying once, he said, you're beating them now, but with Coach Vandenbush and the guys they're getting, I'm telling you, a few more years, it's not going to be easy anymore. And then they turned out to be national champions. But Pablo, you also shed light on another secret, which not too many people know, that my first school was Metropolitan State College. And I have to tell you, that was another, back in the 70s, an embarrassing thing. You ran for Metro. That was like not running at all. In fact, watching them to the power in all sports, I mean, they have national champions in all different activities, has been just amazing. But I remember running for them, and if you know anything about cross country, it's a 7-man team, and you score 7. And just tell you a little bit about our team, we only had 4. So we never even really got to compete, but there was myself. And understand, Metro at the time was very non-traditional. The average age at Metro was probably 28 to 32 years old. So here's people that athletics didn't even count, and anything athletic was just an afterthought and more of an activity. But here was our team. There was me. We had the 42-year-old guy. We had the 200-meter runner. And the 4th guy showed up 2 weeks, but he violated parole, and we never saw him again. So we only had 3. That's all we had. And I remember Pablo came and did a clinic for us out there, and Pablo was a god in the running world. Everybody knew him. He was one of the top in the United States and just an absolute fierce competitor. And he did the clinic, and I talked about where he had trained, and he said, you need to go to Adams State College, which, of course, my coach at Metro was pretty upset. He goes, it's just as easy to be a national champion at a Metro as it is Adams State College, which at the time wasn't true. And I went to Evergreen High School, and we had a very, very strong legacy of distance running, which we had Bob Fink, a very dear friend of mine here who went to Evergreen and went to Adams State. And that was, after Pablo, was my second great connection with greatness, because Bob had made All-American, which was just beyond our grasp. So I knew Adams State was the place for me. And, training with Pablo, or I don't know if it was training, he just kind of dragged me around to like collapse. And in fact, about my junior year, I said, Pablo, what do I have to do to get better? And he says, you've got to up your mileage. And I thought, well, what does that mean? He said, you need to do 2-hour runs. I don't like to do anything for 2 hours, and certainly running is not at the top of that list by any means. And the longest I'd ever done at that time was an hour. So we went out for an hour run, no big deal. Hour 10, that's fine. Hour 15 was good. Hour 20, hour 25, hour 30, hour 31. Okay, who watched submarine movies? Anybody? Okay. Okay, you watch their depth gauge go. Okay, you know what crush depth is? Okay, that's when you get so far, submarine really can't do it. But what happens at crush depth? Okay, wheels are falling off, glass is cracking, bolts are flying everywhere, and water's spraying all over the place. Well, that's exactly what happened to me in an hour 31. I was losing all the bolts, my glass was cracking, and water was going everywhere. And I still had 30 minutes to go. But you remember that run? Wherever it was, 2 hours, you ran home, but I walked the rest of the way. I think I called a cab. But back to, you know, there's so many people that you can thank on the way, and Coach Vigil certainly was instrumental. All my training partners were great. Competing against the Western State team was just fantastic. But Julie as well. But Pablo, I couldn't have done it without you, and I'm just so happy to be up here representing Adams State College and representing the RMAC. And what was great, and I know you've all had this, if you've won a national championship, if you go up to CU and tell them that, what do they say? Oh, that's great, with the qualifier for Division II. But don't you like going up there and rubbing it in their face? Yeah, I kind of like that. Nothing against them, but it was always something that was fun. But I'm very honored to have this. Eric, where are you? Where did you find that footage? Where's Eric? Eric Danner. You're in the back. You know, if you went back any farther, it was going to be black and white, and I don't even know if there's going to be sound because that was old stuff, but good job. So anyway, I'm very proud and I'm very honored to be up here representing the RMAC, so thank you very much.